No, we are very grateful and appreciative of the support India provided us. It was at a time when nobody else stepped up. Over the whole of this year, India has provided a very strong lifeline for Sri Lanka, and people of Sri Lanka appreciate that and are grateful for it. Going forward, I think India, we can work closely together on the economic revival side, because ultimately we have to stand on our own feet. So there is a stabilization phase where India has not only helped us with funding, but also your senior ministers have spoken with the IMF and other development partners as well, encouraging them to support us. So we are now about to enter into a relationship with the IMF. We have already signed a staff level agreement with the International Monetary Fund. The next stage is the revival, because our economy will be contracting over 8% this year, over 3% next year. So the only way out of this is to basically economic growth. For that, to achieve that, I think the quickest way is further economic integration with India. Tourism, of course, is a low-hanging fruit. India accounted for nearly 20-25% of tourism before COVID. So if we can get that back and improve on that, that is one side. Then we are looking at connecting the electricity grids of India and Sri Lanka, going in for renewable energy possibilities, so that we can look at actually providing India electricity as well, and even buying electricity from India and exporting electricity to India. We are looking at Trincomalee possibly as being converted into an energy hub, working with India on that. Already Indian Oil and Sri Lanka Petroleum are jointly looking at managing the tank farm there, but we are looking at other developments on that side. So in the energy and the electricity and energy sector, in the renewable sector, I think India can play a great role in the revival side. Then in the port sector, already there is a major investment taking place in the port of Colombo. Adani Ports will be investing in a terminal for 3 million TEUs. That's a significant investment, and of course for our port of Colombo, India is the major market. Then IT sector we are looking at. There is a lot of potential. Many of your IT companies, including HCL, Tata and Infosys, are looking at Sri Lanka. So I think the revival aspect is now what is important. No, as I explained to you at the meeting also, press conference also, is that we are now closely talking to India also how to avoid this kind of situation in future, because for us also it is new. How, especially with these new technologies, new platforms that are coming into play. We are now, as I've said also publicly, we are looking at developing some kind of a framework with India so as to avoid this type of situation in the future. Because, I mean, clearly we have to learn from each other as we go along. That I quote former President Mahinda Rajapaksa actually. He always says China is our close friend, very close friend. India is our brother and sister. So, I mean, because we are part of the same DNA. So and our relationship goes back 7,000 years to the Ramayana, and then to Buddhism after that. And I also say very often the fact that Emperor Ashoka, your greatest emperor, actually sent his son and daughter to Sri Lanka with the message of Buddhism. So if he didn't trust us, he would not have sent his daughter and son to Sri Lanka.